If you expected me to sing a few choruses of God Bless America or some other patriotic song today, you may have to wait a very long time. Maybe, I know Kelly could do it. Kelly Donahue, happy 4th of July, my friend.
Happy 4th of July to you, Gordy.
Representing all the emergency services and the big 4th of July parade, and we finally got a theme that fits the occasion, red, white, and blue.
Red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue is a beautiful theme.
We're here.
I almost wanted a Champy since we had this Lake Aqua event.
That would have been good.
It would have been good, but that's all right. We'll try it next year.
Draped in a flag, right?
Draped in a flag, that's right.
So how goes it, Cal?
It's going well. It's been a busy year, and of course, trying to set up things because of the flooding, it's kind of took my time, so I was rushing to kind of get things done for the parade, but it's going off without a hitch. And the beauty is we have beautiful weather here. So a lot of entries this year, which is nice.
Kind of busy is the understatement of the century.
Yeah, I think so.
For people who are watching this in Cucamonga or Oshkosh or somewhere far west of Katyville, they may not know that we had horrendous floods around Lake Champlain and the tributaries this spring. People are still feeling the effects and trying to get their homes and lives back in order. And emergency preparedness was right in the middle of it, of course.
We're in the midst of it. I never had to put on high water boots till this time around, which because ultimately on the lakeshore, as you know, it's historic flooding, unfortunately. It got up to 103.2, I think was the last count, 103.22. And the reality is it's been a challenge, and hopefully those people that have been affected by the flooding can still at least try to take some time on this day to enjoy it, to really know that we still are free. And unfortunately it doesn't help them, but you know, so many more areas in the country have been damaged as well. So unfortunately not good news for FEMA for individual assistance, but we're going to try to fight for that for the people, but ultimately hopefully they can still have a good time with this, even amidst this historic flooding that.
Well, we're just thrilled to have a parade.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have a 4th of July
You're
celebration.
right, because we possibly may not have if the water was still high. So
those people have been around here as long as I have, and there are a few of us left. Do remember some gigantic celebrations and parades in the past. But thanks to hard work on the part of people like you and others in the city, this 4th of July parade, which is, of course, a great tradition, has thrived and survived. Yep. And it wasn't very long ago when I heard somebody saying, we only got 20 entries at the parade.
Yeah.
Looks like you're getting close to 50
We're getting
today.
close to 50 today. So
That's
and we had some that didn't sign up that came right in. So, and that's all right. We just had to adjust and make some space. That's all.
We're on Cumberland Avenue in Plattsburgh, not too far from the Benevolent and Protective Order of the Elks Club, and right near Lorraine Street, where I parked about a quarter of a mile away. And you got a four-wheeler to go around and check things out today.
I always have fun with a little four-wheeler, huh?
So what's the route of the parade?
The parade is going to go from here by the Elks Club on Lorraine Street. We're going to proceed down Cumberland Ave over to the bridge to Cornelia Street. And then from Cornelia, hit a left on Margaret Street, all the way down Margaret to Pine Street.
And that's the end of it?
That's the end of the parade.
That's wonderful. How
it's
long?
It's not too long, it's not too short.
What do you think? About 40 minutes?
45 probably.
40? I'm going to check every second.
I know you are.
You're the best. I know you have a lot to do before the parade starts. Thanks so much for everything.
Welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thanks, guys, for all your work, too.
Bye-bye.
Remember, donate to Calvin's cause.
Oh, you got it. I love it. I love it. These people are the best, and you know how I feel about the pipes. And that's just a small contingent of the pipes going by us. The Plattsburgh Police Piping Group will be taking up the rear. We see Howie Caron. He's the tallest of them all. And he was so disgusted when he saw me walk by because I wasn't with Calvin. He was so afraid we weren't going to cover his march and the rest of the people in the parade today. It is a good day, and I have to tell you, when I was heading east from Morrisonville into Plattsburgh, I saw lots of people trying to find parking places toward downtown Plattsburgh. My car is at least a quarter of a mile away, up Lorraine Street, right here near where this intersection is, and so I'll be easily able to walk back there and get out of here at the end. But people opening the trunks of their cars, getting their little babies out, setting up their little kiosks along the road and their chairs, and having a cold beverage or two to make it through the parade. They gather here early for that, and if there weren't a parade for one reason or another here in downtown Plattsburgh, it would not be a happy occasion for all these people who enjoy celebrating the 4th of July. And I have to tell you, Calvin, and those people who are watching the show, the advent of the Patriot flag over the weekend in Rouse's Point set this whole weekend up for me. It was a wonderful and fabulous occasion. As they brought this flag in, Calvin was there early in the morning, shortly after 7 o'clock. The Coast Guard brought it over across the lake, took it off the boat. It seemed a little heavy when they grabbed it, and then we realized they just washed this fabulous flag, which is doing 50 states in 50 weeks. And so the guys who hoisted it up on the aerial ladders from St. Paul, Quebec, and Rouse's Point realized that it weighed maybe 50 pounds more than the 75 pounds it was supposed to weigh. But when it was finally in the air and began to fly in a light breeze, I looked over at one of the senior citizen ladies, perhaps a Gold Star mother, and I felt like saluting myself. I did indeed take my cap off at one point as the patriotic music played, and I looked over and one of the little gals was watching with her gray hair, and the tears were rolling down her face, and I said, that's what it's all about. To celebrate the lives and commemorate the deaths of the people who lost their lives in 9/11, the people who responded to that, responders all over the country, and not to mention the people who serve and have served in the armed forces around the world. So that was a wonderful occasion. Calvin went back, and the evening program was great as well. People were able to see that on Hometown Cable. It's on all the internets now, right? On Plattsburgh.com and HometownCableNetwork.com in various segments and in its entirety, and that's wonderful. I don't know about you at your house, but when I went to bed last night on the 3rd of July, it felt like they were running fireworks everywhere around my house. The sky was lit up like a Christmas tree. The rockets' red glare were to be seen everywhere. And it was sad when we had to put both of our dogs down within the last few months, but we were grateful last night that my poor white dog Kia wasn't there, or we would have had to share the covers with him on the bed, I guarantee you that. But it is a good time. It's a great, with the pressures that face all of us in Plattsburgh and Clinton County and wherever you're watching this program as we recorded on the 4th of July, it's time for us to step back and think about our history, think about our grand history. Maybe you'd like to study a little bit as to why we don't celebrate on the 2nd of July when the Declaration of Independence was actually signed. There was controversy over that, don't you know? But here we are on the 4th of July, our traditional Independence Day, having just helped our Canadian neighbors to the north celebrate Canada Day last Friday. And we're going to enjoy a tremendous parade, and I hope you stick with us and enjoy it with us.
Yes. I really got to go see my mother-in-law. Hi.
I know you got to go see people. Donnie Kasperzak, Mayor of the City of Plattsburgh, a proud patriotic day in the North Country.
Red, white, and blue.
You got that, and my Yankee hat.
And, yes.
I know you got lots to do, but thanks for everything you do. This is a great day for us and for the Irish and anybody else.
Polish, everybody, our residents, everybody. No,
you got it.
Gordy, I'm really proud to be the mayor of the City of Plattsburgh, and of course, I'm so pleased. First of all, the weather is cooperated today. You folks are here. I can't thank you enough. And all the sponsors and participants. People, I think, are outstanding in Plattsburgh. I know they are, and I'm just glad they take the time on a day like today to be here and for you guys to cover us.
Up until a couple of weeks ago, we didn't know we'd have 15 people or 35.
No, we didn't.
Now we got 50, and I'm happy.
I'm proud of everybody here, and I'm just glad that I'm going to go see. I got a little spot with my mother-in-law and my wife and sons, and we're going to go near City Hall in the shade.
Go enjoy it.
All right,
Have
thank
a
you.
cool one for me.
And by the way, folks, appreciate these two gentlemen and contribute the best you can for them because they're very important in the North Country.
Thank you so much,
Love
Donnie.
everybody.
See you later. Donnie Kasperzak, Mayor of the City of Plattsburgh.
You think this guy's been eating too many rocks right there, Gordy?
I think maybe that's the whole thing. And then you notice there's a cannon aimed at the front of that car, so if things don't go off as scheduled in the beginning, we're going to blow that sucker right out of the tub.
You will not leave early.
Yeah, I love it. Everybody's in a good mood. Temperatures are probably in the mid-80s by now. People waving at the hometown cable camera. Lots of people finding the shade of the trees, and other people right out in the beautiful bright sunshine. Calvin and I have done a lot of these parades. He's done far more than I in various communities. As a matter of fact, you did Alberg this morning at 11 o'clock.
Alberg at 11, Rouse's Point last night, and I was happy to catch my friend Lauren Yulee from St. Paul, Quebec, in the Alberg Parade. I thought he'd be there, so I brought along copies of the festivities
did you really?
from Friday, so he could bring them on as a contribution from Hometown Cable to his friends in St. Paul who provided that ladder truck.
And then people who didn't watch the arrival of the Patriot flag may not realize that was, as far as we know, the first international connection with the Patriot flag. And they fought a fire at night, and they came down the next day with their truck. It definitely is the first.
Yeah, St. Paul, definitely a tough day. They were fighting a structure fire during the night.
All night long, and had to wash the truck and come down with it.
But they got there in time. But there was a firefighter, I'm not going to guess at his name, who arrived. They arrived a little bit late. Several people from the Patriot Flag Committee arrived a little bit late for the evening festivities, but they were there when the flag was being taken down and folded. And I gave my card to the gentleman from the city. He was in the towers when they went down. When they pulled him out of there, they did not expect him to survive the night. And he was there in Rouse's Point and gave a moving speech.
I was moved just hearing about it after, and to see your coverage of it. It was amazing.
So I gave him my card as other people were doing things around. And I put that on the website as quickly as I could at hometowncablenetwork.com. And I went to 5:30 Mass on Saturday. This course took place on Friday. I went to 5:30 Mass on Saturday, got back, there was a message on my machine from California, and a man named Wayne, I think it's Wayne, or could be Paul, I can't remember, I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
The last name is Louth, rhymes with mouth. He is the scheduler, and he'd watched the videos. He was super impressed with first of all, by the coverage that this Patriot flag got all this kind of coverage, but with the ceremonies themselves and what Rouse's Point and the surrounding communities and all the government agencies and first responders did on that day, they were superly impressed. And he did confirm by listening to it that we'd mentioned that it may have been the first ever, and he said it definitely is. He's a scheduler. He should know.
He would know.
It is the first ever in this Patriot flag. Patriot flag, of course, is going to be at Ground Zero on September 11th, 2011, 10-year anniversary. It's going to be at the Pentagon. It's going to be in the fields in Pennsylvania on that date. They'll be traveling around. And in 50 weeks, it's gone to 50 states. It will have gone to 50 states. And I think we were all so proud to have been a part of that. It just amazing. And to make it the first international. And of course up here with our mutual aid and Vermont and Quebec, part of our mutual aid system, the ones on the borders. It was so fitting that St. Paul took part in this.
It was great to see them there. Of course, Lauren, it's been almost a fixture in Rouse's Point, being so close to the border. It has been down there for most of the festivities for as long as you and I can remember.
St. Paul wasn't in the parade in Rouse's Point this year.
Oh, no kidding.
I brought those DVDs last night to give to him, and Lauren usually sits not too far away from where I record from, in front of the Dodge Memorial Library, but he and his wife weren't at that spot, whether they were out another spot in town, which is the probability.
Yep.
But he wasn't there, so I wasn't able to give him to him last night, so I said I'll bring him to Alberg, because I know he usually rides in that parade, and sure enough,
there he was.
So I stop. So
well, you know, the phrase "hands across the border" was mentioned numerous times while you and I were there, and it pleases me to have been a part of this whole relationship with Canada and Vermont over the years, and you and I have taken special pains to talk about the triangle of excellence and Vermont's assistance and all the mutual aid systems and so on. Now, this parade on the 4th of July 2011 is only 3 minutes away from the official start, and we're right at the beginning of it on Cumberland Avenue in Plattsburgh, and I hope many people are watching this parade who are in it today, because when you're in a parade, especially when you're in the beginning of it, you don't get to see much until it's over.
Right, and if people are watching this, whether it be on the internet or on cable at another time, let your friends and family know from around the country that this is available for free. Just click on it at either Plattsburgh.com or HometownCableNetwork.com, and you can watch this at 3 o'clock in the morning every day of the week if you want. It's
also,
always there.
Another point, Calvin, is that when people watch a video, if they like it, click on one of the stars, right? Vote for it.
Oh, yeah, don't click on one of them. Click on the 5 stars.
Yeah.
Don't give it a 1
We don't
star.
want to put any words in your mouth, but click on the 5-star if you can. And there are ways to contribute to make sure that this program continues, Calvin.
I keep a closer watch on HometownCableNetwork.com because I run that website. But thanks to Brian McBride, our videos are also on Plattsburgh.com. So over the weekend, I also checked just to see how some of the things were going there on Plattsburgh.com. And the Altona Parade was on there, and somebody had given it a 1 star, and he was the only voter. So I said, I got to vote and give it a 5.
You got to vote? You should have told me. I would have given it
So at least it's up to 3 now. But how can somebody? Altona really works hard in that parade. They did an outstanding job, and somebody decided it was only worth 1 star.
What a shame.
It must be tough to.
It was a fun, and I was there, and I would have given it a 5 because I was one of the judges. And I don't like to be a judge because I don't like to snub anybody. They all work so hard in these small towns, but it's always a good day at the Altona Home Days. How many parades in the course of a year does Hometown Cable cover, do you think?
Well, I can try to enumerate them. They don't have one in Lion Mountain anymore. I used to enjoy going up there and meeting with my buddy Ves Pavetta and doing that Lion Mountain Parade. And Malone Parade, if they still have it, it got awfully short, and it just wasn't worth the 2-hour back and forth with no support from the Franklin County to go up and record it. But starting on Memorial Day, excuse me, I taped the Shazy Memorial Weekend Parade on that Sunday. My brother Sam is there at the same time at the St. Mary's Bazaar Parade. Then the next one I think that we do is the Katyville Parade.
We're getting ready.
Yeah, and then the Rouse's Point, Altona, Alberg, Plattsburgh. I'll probably go up to Moira this year.
And there'll be more, yeah.
Let's watch this one.
All right, this parade is underway. And you see the police department, city police department, leads the parade, and the Boy Scouts with Mike Wagner here. Glad to see the Boy Scouts all setting up some of these little vehicles. We got them running.
Yeah, this one here is just barely.
Yeah.
This is the one that Tony Vaccaro was trying to start with a lawnmower pull chain here. I'm not sure what kind of a vehicle it is, but that's his son Kent driving. That's Kent Vaccaro
Oh, back in
from the Transportation Museum.
got it running. Let's hope we can keep it running. We are so lucky to have a campus of 3 museums on the former Plattsburgh Air Force Base, Clinton County Historical Association, the Battle of Plattsburgh, War of 1812. Here comes Tony.
There's Tony right behind him here.
In the little Beamer. It's at least 3 cylinders that we know about. So
And
thanks
3
to him.
wheels.
And 3 wheels. You got that right.
Transportation Museum.
Transportation Museum is here. City Fire Department is back there ready. We got a Mustang on its way.
I gotta lower that camera. I'm back right into the cedar hedge, and it's starting
Yeah.
to hitch.
And it's a warm day, as I said, almost 90 degrees in downtown Plattsburgh. That's the Transportation Museum still.
Guys, you got to pull over. The parade's going on right now.
Okay, and here comes the City Fire Department.
Engine 282.
You got it. I love the old trucks. Everybody loves the old trucks. You don't see too many bicycles in the parade, but when Calvin and I were young people, and me long before Calvin as kids, we took a long time to put crepe paper all over our bicycles and in the spokes, and cards in the spokes with old-fashioned clothespins so it would make a lot of noise. Oh, listen to this. He's got the siren going.
Well, there's no cards in the spoke, but there were a lot of decorated bicycles in Alberg today.
Oh, there were, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. These old fire trucks that have been restored are wonderful projects. And very often the inmates in various prisons, including correctional facility in Dannemora, have worked a lot on some of these old vehicles. As you know, fire trucks are not all red these days. And here's one that's not, South Plattsburgh. Engine 324 of the South Plattsburgh Fire Department. There's always been a lot of discussion as to what colors are more obviously seen by people in the daytime and at nighttime. The controversy will never end. So the department picks blue or white or red or yellow.
Yeah, I know Champlain was one of the first ones to get that lime green kind of color. I remember Phil Strack talking about the Han that they were going to get there in Champlain, and it was controversial at the time because it wasn't red.
Almost everything is controversial, but that's what makes small towns fun. We got a sneak preview a few minutes ago of the police pipe and drums in Plattsburgh, and here they are in their full uniforms. It's always moving to hear the pipes playing, especially since we know the majority of people who are marching here today. It takes a great deal of effort to learn this music and a lot of concentration to be able to play as you walk. Calvin staked out his little 5-foot square section of Cumberland Avenue so that we would be right on the parade route. It would be another thing to be on top of a third-story building and get a good view. But we're right here where the action is, so no matter what happens, we'll capture it for you.
That was Warren Tire, I guess.
Oh, yes.
And speaking of Warren Tire, now that's a big one there. I'd hate to buy 4 of those.
Oh, my goodness, yes.
It must be a Uke tire or something. What do you think?
You think so? Well, congratulations and welcome to those. We do have a list of the entries in the parade. They are not necessarily in order, and there were a lot of new ones. So here's the hazmat truck that we expected to see a little while ago. Hey, guys. How are you?
Eric Day.
Eric Day, Emergency Preparedness Director. We already talked to his... I won't say understudy because he really wouldn't like that idea, but he's worked so hard on getting this parade together. The emergency preparedness system is such a powerful organization in times of emergency. Used to call those people fire coordinators, remember, for the region? Well, that got my attention. Center Stage Dance Studio is here. Thanks to all these units, the organizers and so on, who will get these kids and these adults together in the middle of the summertime. Here's the Plattsburgh Nazarene Church Vacation Bible School. A lot of the kids and their families are on vacation. That's why it's hard to get high school marching bands in the summertime.
Would you want to wear that little panda
I don't think
today?
so. I'm having enough trouble with my Yankees cap. If I weren't such a fan, I might put it in my back pocket.
It's got to be about 85 degrees right now, I think.
It's 85 to 90 degrees. Pandemania, for God is wild about you. Plattsburgh Nazarene Church, I would guess.
Talk about being warm.
Oh, yes. Battle of Plattsburgh group. But those are all wool uniforms, in case anybody should ask you. don't stop one of these guys in the parade route and say, does it itch? He might load the gun up and point it in your direction. The reenactors here in the North Country are a wonderful and hardy group, and they travel all over our country and Canada to commemorate the various battles that were fought in years past. Here's the replica of the USS Saratoga, prominent in the Battle of Plattsburgh, the War of 1812. It's been in lots of parades since it was first shown in the area.
Dr. Tommy Lemaire behind the wheel.
Yes. And it does make noise when it fires, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. As we see the Nancy Langlois dance group coming up, sometime this summer later on we'll probably be doing a story with the Langlois Racine dance group, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, we followed the principles for a long time, and God knows I've been to a few of these dance recitals and music recitals in the North Country over the years, with children and grandchildren and neighbors and friends involved, and that's just terrific to see the kids represented here today from Nancy Langlois School of Dance. Don't you love to see the little ones? They've got, look at the group they've got, Calvin. Holy mackerel. Or as the scooter would say, holy cow. It's got to be one of the biggest groups we've ever had in the parade here. That's wonderful.
I've checked, and every one of them, I recognize them all from last night in Rouse's Point.
You really? Were they there last night too?
Yeah.
There were a lot of people firing fireworks at dusk last night. I was hard put to tell where they were coming from. My wife said, that's from Rouse's Point. I said, I don't think so. I think it's somebody down the street has put on a great show for us. But then the sky was lit up all around us in Morrisonville. So lots of people were having, I think, their private fireworks showing last night. Airborne Speedway is represented. Sound. Hello, hello, hello. We've got a long history there. I found an old photograph of Gordy Little, 125 pounds lighter, broadcasting the races back in the early 1960s the other day. Found an old portfolio of photographs from the 50s and 60s that I gave to Dave Brown. There's a Coffee Cat, our friends, where the elite go to meet.
Now, watching that stock car go by, I think a decision was made maybe 3-4 years ago that cars like that,
on a trailer,
antique cars, have to be in a trailer, have to be towed.
Well, we had some unfortunate incidents that we won't necessarily recapitulate, but it involved spinning of wheels and danger and so on, and it's safety first in these parades. We haven't had any serious incidents here in Plattsburgh in a long time, and I'm sure Kelly and the group and the mayor, nobody wants to have any today, so it's going to be a safe and wonderful time. And by the way, the theme for 2011, in case you didn't guess, is red, white, and blue, just as it should be for the 4th of July parade in downtown Plattsburgh.
The theme for this group is green. Who are they? B Transport.
Oh yeah, there you go. B Transport, B-E-E, B Transport. The Coffee Cat bus came ahead of that, a little bit out of order. Mountain Valley Integrated Solutions was to be in here somewhere. But here's the B Transport truck. A bright shade of yellow for sure. Want to ship your car somewhere? Want to ship it back home to Champlain? It's amazing how many people ship their cars somewhere when they go on vacation, either on a transport like this or on there's some people that make money putting them on the rail cars.
Well, if you're flying, I guess, and you want your vehicle there.
You got it. Better than hiring a family member to drive it down and then fly back. It could be even more expensive.
I suppose if you want to save money, you could sit in your car while you're transporting it down there.
Yeah. It's a good thing they've got signs because, as I said, we have a general outline. I emphasize the word general outline of groups in the parade. Big Apple Audio is going by now. So there'll be some music. Mentioned before, there aren't too many marching groups with music. High school bands are few and far between in the summertime because it's too hard to get the kids together. That's why I have to tip my hat to the Straw Hatters, which have been already in several parades. I don't know if they're going to be here in this one today. I haven't looked down through, but they're a good group for a lot of years.
Yeah, they weren't in the Rouse's Point Parade.
They didn't?
Formed Friday, but they weren't.
Uh-huh.
And of course, they don't march now. Usually they're
on.
riding.
They're not stupid. Their mama didn't raise no fools. Look at this with the hood up, huh?
What is this group?
Big Apple. That's a Big Apple Audio group.
Big Apple?
Yep. Here's the Champlain Valley Amateur Radio Club. I remember all those coffee stops for the holidays along the Adirondack Northway shortly after they built it. These guys used 2-meter radio and ham radio frequencies. There's Jerry Silver, who retired as a dispatcher at the Clinton County Fire Control and the City Fire Department for a long, long time. There's still a place for ham radio in emergencies, that's for sure, and we've seen them in action over and over and over again. Thank you, young man. Oh, there's somebody making a pitch for better cell phone service in the Adirondack Mountain region. Well, they're trying to improve. I noticed coming up the Northway the other day, it's not quite seamless yet, but it's way better than it used to be. How are you, young man?
How are you?
You're looking good, Rick.
Rick Perry?
Rick Perry.
Yeah.
Mountain Valley Integrated Solutions.
Plus, Rick helps organize so many of those fishing derbies.
Oh boy, that would get you to Champlain pretty quick if you got it out in the lake. Look at the size of those 200 horsepower motor. Wow.
I'd still be worried about debris out there in that lake.
Oh God, I would too. Especially I worry about it through all these fishing tournaments. Are these the Girl Scouts or no? This is a politician.
He's Shazy Beekman Town. So he just goes to parades, whether it's in his district or not.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Of course.
He was in Rouse's Point last night. And of course, there's a lot of people from Shazy Beekman Town who are at these parades. So.
The St. John's Feral Cat Fund.
And I'm sure he'll send in a huge contribution when he sees this on.
Oh yeah. But our special congratulations to Victoria, who's done such a wonderful job with the St. John Feral Cat Fund in the area. There's so many stray cats in the city of Plattsburgh and elsewhere that nobody takes care of, and occasionally you'll see a sad story in the newspaper about some individual who has hoarded 50 or 60 cats that or dogs and birds and ferrets and pigs. Some people love pets so much they can't stay away from having them, and they shouldn't have so many because they can't take care of them. So yes, what would a parade be without politicians, right, Calvin?
I'm trying to get the mayor over here.
How are you, young man?
How are you?
You're looking good.
Good, thank you.
Of course, Jim Carlin's wife works for the city of Plattsburgh.
Oh, of course.
And Jim was very generous to the Bob Venn Park Committee back when we needed some work done.
There they are. How are you? Someway Insurance. There's a color for you. Wow.
Yeah.
That will catch your attention. Katyville's here. This is what fire trucks always looked like when we were young.
The flag.
We learned from George Rivers When we were up there the other day honoring the people who were killed in 9/11 with the Patriot flag, how much fire trucks, pumpers, and tankers cost these days. It's kind of scary, wasn't it?
Yeah, when you start throwing 7 figures as a price tag for
Amazing.
a ladder truck.
You wonder why they try to keep them running from the 1960s, some of these smaller departments, huh? Idea for the Turnpike Wesleyan Church, huh?
Remember that little church they used to have at the end of the Pellerin Road there?
Yeah.
It's an antique shop now, but I can't believe they went from that to this beautiful church just down the road.
Just down the road. And it's got a rich history. And so many people I know were involved with that church for the last 100 years plus with their families, etc. The next one will be autism awareness. Autism is finally getting a face, a definition, and a lot of people trying to describe it and raising money to see what it is in its many forms and what to do about it. And I would like to personally congratulate those people who work so hard on behalf of sufferers from autism, because in my day, of course, there wasn't such a word. And we had other very unkind words to describe people who suffered from autism. That's a good group. MVP kids, of course.
What do we got now?
Looks like Ambit Energy.
This is the they got fish in there, they told us last night.
They do, huh?
Sorry.
So that's the Martin Fish Preserve. The Martin Fish Preserve, that's what it is.
How they biting today?
Oh, okay. I don't know much about the George Martin and the Martin Fish Preserve. Of course, some of the local radio stations will be represented. I doubt if any local ones will be there, but in terms of the way the media projects things these days, it would be local if it were in Rutland. So, speaking of that, here comes Eagle Country. And the kids are enjoying it too, aren't they? Look at this.
Definitely dancing music.
Yeah. And the Adirondack Humane Society. There are some wonderful groups who work tirelessly on behalf of pets in the North Country. This is one of the groups that we've supported with our lip service and monetary contributions for a long, long time. Now on the former Plattsburgh Air Force Base. And then, of course, there's the Elmore SPCA on the Telegraph Road in Peru. Congratulations to all of them. Here, no thanks. Here comes the Adirondack, this would be the U.S. Army Reserve, 962nd Ordnance Company.
From your neck of the woods, aren't they the ones in Morrisonville?
I think so, yeah, and I'm guessing there's not an awful lot of air conditioning in that cab either, would you? Now here's what a Humvee's supposed to look like, folks, in case you didn't know. I don't know if that horn would scare away a stray animal, but...
This is the desert camouflage here.
I think so. Should take them down the beach. Congratulations to this group. We watch them work out, we watch them march, we watch them do their jogging sometimes early in the morning, and it's great to have them around.
What number are we up to?
Well, we're up to 34. We've missed quite a few along the way. But maybe they'll be joining us at some other time.
Yeah, some were no-shows, some were surprise arrivals. So.
Yeah, and this would be the Plattsburgh Roller Derby. We have one of those here in case you didn't know it.
Yeah, we saw this group last year for the first time in the parade.
I bet you they've never heard of Rollerland. What do you think?
Probably not.
That was quite a venue back in the early 60s here for not only for roller skating, but for rock and roll shows of the first order. This is what you'd call a motley crew. Would you call them a motley crew?
I'll call them anything they want me to call them.
Anything. They got the good helmets.
Anything they want me to call them.
You got it, baby.
They'll knock me into the boards.
Yep. It's a nice parade. It's now in real time, 22 minutes after 2. The parade started around 2 o'clock. We were told it would be about 40 or 45 minutes long, and I think we're there. How about this bus for the Plattsburgh Roller Derby, huh? Look at that beard, the gentleman in the passenger seat.
I'm not sure, but it looked like tattoos were optional. Not everybody had.
Yeah. Not required. Wonderful paint job on the bus, though. This is really, really terrific. I love it.
Big goldfish.
Oh boy, that's amazing. Now we're back to the real world.
What do you mean?
The Altona Fire Department. They were probably in the parade a couple hours ago where you were.
No, they didn't go to Altona. I mean, Alberg, no.
Oh, they didn't go across the lake?
No.
Okay. Anchor 103 from Altona.
Champlain and Rouse's Point were there.
Oh, they were?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And I'm not sure what this is next. Maybe another airborne speedway racer, I'll bet you,
McLean's,
that's out of order.
This is McLean's, this is Adirondack Trash Service.
Oh, yeah. I gotcha.
The McLean family.
Yep.
They're out of West Shazy, but they now have a building right next door to the Champlain Town Garage on Route 9 in Champlain.
Aha.
So they're expanding.
Everybody needs a U-fill trailer, right?
Yeah, it might take me a while to fill this trailer. But, give me at least a month.
Look at that, huh?
Bill McBride.
Yeah, we've heard of Bill McBride, haven't we, huh? Hello.
If you're watching this on the internet, you can thank Brian McBride for his efforts.
Yeah, Plattsburgh.com, and that's for sure.
And HometownCableNetwork.com.
And that too. How are you, young man? I need one. I need one. Thank you very much.
Get a shot of these guys giving the lollipop.
Yes.
Guys.
How about that, huh?
They're still coming.
They're still coming from Bill McBride.
No Subarus though.
How are ya?
It's Billy Jr.
Billy Jr., the one that does the powerful television commercial these days.
Yeah.
Look at this, huh?
Yes.
This is the Bible Baptist Church, as you can tell from the colorful T-shirts.
Whenever a guy that size used to come into town, Larry Cowan used to be all over him.
Yeah, we can use you some.
Come to Plattsburgh State.
Uh-oh, you're too tall. You're higher than the basket. You're going to have to kneel down to put the ball in.
All right, Bible school. Another Bible school.
Yep. Bible Baptist Church. With the balloons. And red, white, and blue apron and creatures hanging out the window. That's kind of cool. For our viewers who might not know it, this is one of a number of parochial schools in the area. They run their own school system as well as a church on Route 9, south of Plattsburgh.
I imagine they have a few more students in the summer for the summer school.
I think you're probably right. I hope they don't give us a hosing there, but these are my buddies from Morrisonville, so I'm liable to get a shot. You never know.
Better you than my camera.
A lot of these fire departments used to have competition, as you know. And Morrisonville Fireflies were always strong and generally winners in those categories years and years ago. So it's great to have all these fire departments represented in the parades, because everybody of all ages loves fire trucks, that's for sure.
I regret to say I think I only did one of those competitions. Hugh Heron lined it up, and we did one at the Freight Center, and it was really good.
Yeah, John Dooley, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hey, hello, hello, hello! Oh, we're blowing bubbles. Look out.
This is Jim Garrett's vehicle, Buddha Garrett.
Guardians of the Ribbon, and you know what this is all about. We've heard a great deal lately and for a long time about fighting cancer. And this is supporting women and raising awareness, the Northern New York chapter. pinkheels.com in case you want to look them up on the internet. They've done a wonderful job in painting that truck, and it sure has been visible in lots and lots of places. Here's Cumberland Head Fire and Rescue.
All their stuff is white, which I would think would be the least visible ones.
And there's Wolf Mattis, our dear friend who's been with the department. Came here, I believe, from Detroit many years ago and made it a home. Hey, Wolf, how you doing, buddy?
Not bad, yourself?
Good to see you. They do a lot with the cold water rescue and so on, as many of the departments do now. And look what's represented here.
Yeah,
The brush truck 247 from Lion Mountain. How are you? Hello. There's so many different ways they can serve now with four-wheelers and water rescue for cold water with hovercraft, etc., etc., etc. I think we're coming with only a few more entries in this parade. Mac Janitorial Supply, didn't see them on the list, but we welcome them here. There's a nice car coming up through.
Yes. Is it on your list?
Nope, I don't think so. WIZN was supposed to be in here.
It's a 450 SL. I'm not sure what that
Nice
logo is.
vehicle. How are you? How are you? You're looking good. Have a good year, guys. Plattsburgh North Star football team with a long history, and Coach Pat Kelleher, who said hello, Mr. Little, on the way by.
A year ago, Rick Knowles and Rob Knowles, even though they're busy with Airborne, had offered to record the North Star games and put them on the internet. But they said no, thank you.
Oh, really?
They didn't want them on the internet.
Oh, I wonder why. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, so it's too bad.
Yep, too bad. It really is very
It's their
sad.
choice, you know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy, look at this.
Well, people scouting them, I guess.
Who does, what year is it, Calvin?
1957.
Oh, boy, and what a good year, huh? Boy, that's a beauty, too. That's not a stock engine, I promise you that.
No, that's I mentioned before about going to Trombley's Auto Chevrolet sales when I was a kid and seeing the new models when they came out.
Oh, gosh, didn't we? Esposito and Sons. Another colorful truck. I apologize for not having more background information, but a lot of these are latecomers in additions to my list. But we can see WIZN near the end of the parade. 106.7, popular radio station based in Vermont on the FM dial. I think we're seeing daylight near the end. Do you see a police car on the end there, Calvin? I do
Follow
too.
these guys.
Yeah.
And they won't pull over. They just ignore that little flag.
Isn't that amazing? I think the sun went behind a cloud, which was a very gracious thing to do for you and me.
And my camera.
And the camera too, yeah. That camera's been through a little wind and rain and snow and maybe even a little hail. Very special congratulations and thanks to everybody who not only organized this parade, but who took the time to gather, to make floats. I'm sure they're giving awards for various contingents as they do in most parades.
I would imagine. If I could go back briefly to the Trombley's auto sales, Chevrolet sales. recently through Roland Juno,
Oh yeah.
I acquired a video that the music that was done at St. Mary's.
Well, we're almost close.
Hey, nice job.
Oh,
Kelly.
you did a good job, Kelly. What do you think?
It's all done, man.
do
It's
you
a beautiful thing.
Happy?
I mean, it was good. Yeah, yeah.
The sun dipped behind the cloud just at the end to give us a little breather.
A little breather. It's a nice. It was a good parade, though, huh?
It was a wonderful parade.
So, did you enjoy yourselves?
We had a great time.
I can't thank you enough for doing this.
It's
for
all
us.
your fault.
Yeah.
See you later,
See you
Kelly.
later. Thank
Thanks
you, guys.
again. That's Kelly Donahue, a friend for a long, long time, and Assistant Emergency Preparedness Director under Eric Day here in Clinton County. And
well, the Starfires, the music was recorded
I know, isn't it great?
in Trombley's garage. One of the songs is from Trombley's garage with Dean and Dale Trombley. They had McCaffrey, Lambert, and Roland Juno in the band. And the other one was recorded. The other video, the music was recorded at a dance at St. Mary's. But this is stuff from 50 years ago, and it's just so great, and the quality is amazing. So I invite people to go out and find that video. And I got Dale Trombley called me up out of the blue from Florida just a short while ago, and he sent me up 2 recordings that I'm going to put on very shortly of Us. I don't know if you ever heard Us when,
yes.
when Dean and Dale
Oh,
owned
absolutely.
Brody's.
Oh, yes.
I told Dale, I said that to me, we had a lot of good bands, but that one there just had so much going for
Just
it.
fabulous.
You know, it was Freddie Passano and Spencer Bosworth
And
and,
then all those
Mike
guys.
O'Connell and so many talented guys, including Dean and Dale. And there was, forget the other guy's name, I apologize, but he's on the list.
I should know it too, but I'm sorry. But I have an excuse. I'm old.
Yeah.
Those old bands were good. And you know, a lot of these guys are still around making music. Mike Brassard, for example, Mike and the Ravens, Bill Kennedy and the Twilighters. I found 2 old photographs. As I told you, me introducing them on a stage somewhere, perhaps at Airborne Speedway. And I only recognize the person is because it's me. There is no resemblance whatever after 50 years. But some of those guys are still recording music. Wasn't it fun when we went back up to the Saxony when
The Thunderbolts.
when the Thunderbolts were back? And
Well, I'm trying to talk Dale, and he's with the idea. He likes the idea. I mentioned it to Dean over the weekend because I just did a couple of recordings of the Four Fathers, which is Mark Miro, Hal Miro, Tommy Marnes,
Yep.
and Dean Trombley. Those are on the internet right now. They were at the Rouse's Point over the weekend, and I did 2 of their sets. So I talked to Tommy Marnes, I talked to Dean and Dale, and haven't seen Dick Cable yet. But the Starfires 2, which played at Grandview and Brody's and other places. We'd like to see them get going again. Roland Juno, of course, was part of that. So we'd like to see just a reunion of that maybe happen this summer, and that would be exciting.
well, thanks to Mark's couple of books, some young people in the North Country have been introduced for the first time to some of the great groups that have been together for the last 100 years in the North Country, wherever he could find photographs. And we saw him up in Rouse's Point when the Patriot flag got there. And yeah, he says he was taking pictures all over the place.
Yeah.
He said, there'll be another book. There'll be another book.
Well, so far, according to Dale, they have not yet uncovered a photo of us. So if anybody out there was at Brody's in 71, 72 era and took a picture of us, get a hold of Hometown Cable, and we'll make sure that Dean or Dale or Roland or somebody gets a copy of that.
Yeah, because every now and again, some of these old photographs will surface. I was just going through thousands of old pictures and portfolios and albums in one of my sheds the other day, you know, and I come across these old pictures from the bands, and I don't know if these pictures were known before, but I put them to one side. It's like that old album from Airborne Speedway.
check for an us in there. If you got an us in there, it's a collector's item.
I don't think I do, but I wouldn't be surprised if somebody viewing does, and I hope they give you a ring, Calvin. This is a good time today.
I think the parade's over, Goy. I don't think anything more
Oh,
is
you
coming
noticed
there.
that,
Yeah.
huh? All
This
right.
is the parade aftermath.
Uh-huh.
People going home to enjoy a hot dog, a hamburger, and each other's company.
And picnics all over the North Country, and I'll bet you I'll hear a few booms before I go to bed tonight, too.
You know, and this is one of the things that I am kind of proud of that we're able to offer at Hometown Cable Network and Plattsburgh.com is a real look around the world. People can look and see how America really is. This is the way life is in America in the early 21st century, and we've got a lot of footage of how it was in the late 20th century. And it's not manufactured, it's not somebody's written script. This is how it happened, and I'm so proud to have about 15,000 of these to share with
15,000.
not only our local people, but the world.
Small Town USA, and it's something we've talked about. Certainly I promoted long before I ever met Calvin Castine, and he's been doing it.
Hi.
Wow, hi.
We got you.
We got you. Small Town USA. There are some people on who've done documentaries on public television, on some of the other networks, spending a little time in small towns across the country, but this is something that Calvin has dedicated his entire life to, and me in other ways, my entire adult life, to talking about what happens in the North Country in these small towns. And if we act as though we're proud of being here on the 4th of July for the red, white, and blue theme of the parade in 2011, or in Rouse's Point or Alberg or wherever we happen to be, it's because we are. And I hope that, like everything else on Hometown Cable, that you don't see any of this as being contrived. It's sometimes difficult for us to find the right words to describe how we feel about patriotism, about these North Country people, about these small communities. It's not atypical. I think there are a lot of other great towns in the north, around the countryside, that are just as proud of where they live. But we kind of have focused our efforts on northern New York, and it's just a wonderful thing for us to be here today and every day.
Well, there are a lot of other communities that people are just as proud of, but none of them have the library that's available to show it.
Oh, you got that true. We wondered for years how we could archive it, and now so much of this is available at our Hometown Cable, HometownCableNetwork.com, and Plattsburgh.com. Click on it one of these days, and I think you'll be maybe very delighted at what you see. Again, thanks for watching this program. Thanks for being part of it. You're part of it if you say thank you. You're part of it if you send a check to Hometown Cable to Calvin Castine on the Ridge Road in Champlain. You're part of it if you make a suggestion about whom we might interview or a place we might visit sometime in the future. We already have plans that would take us just about through the rest of the summer. Places to go and things to do. And who knows where we might be next time for our little corner.
Hi, Calvin. Hi, Gordy.
Howdy, howdy.
Happy Independence Day.
Say hi, then right back to you.
What a nice
I love it, don't you? What a great group it is.